Well, we finally once again reached the end of Daredevil Born Again. You know, this exact thing happened last year. Season 1 came out, all the episodes started coming out, and I was liking it, and boom, the end of season 1 hit, and I was like, well, dang, what am I supposed to look forward to now? And then we finally had season 2 come out, and I was like, hell yeah, and all the episodes started coming out, and I was like, I'm liking this, and then here we are at the end of it again, and I'm like, well, dang, what am I supposed to look forward to now? The Boys? That show only has like 3 more episodes, and then that show's gonna be over for like ever. So once that show ends in a couple of weeks, what am I supposed to look forward to then? I don't know. Did I wear green for this review? Maybe. Does it make sense? Probably not. Would red have been a better choice to wear? Most likely. Well, we are finally here at the end of Daredevil Born Again Season 2. And it's kind of sad saying that because it feels like the season just started, and now here we are at the end of it. But yeah, this season overall I actually thought was pretty dang solid. There were some people saying that it was kind of disappointing compared to the first season, but for me, in my opinion, I thought this season was pretty dang solid because the main thing that I like about this season is that it feels a bit more like it feels a bit more connected, whereas season 1 was kind of all over the place. Like you had some plot lines here and there, and then you had this one random episode in episode 5 that didn't really relate to the rest of the story, and then you had just like the last like 3 episodes or 4 episodes, because season 1 was 9 episodes. Then the last like 4 episodes was kind of something like completely different. So season 1 was kind of all over the place, but I don't really blame them for that because obviously with the creative overhaul and everything that they had to do, where they filmed like 4 or so episodes and then realized the show wasn't working, so then they had to scrap that and then just like remake the show pretty much. And thank God they did because yeah, the original like idea for season 1 sounded pretty dang atrocious. I'm not gonna lie, because the whole like stuff with like Foggy and him getting killed, that was like off screen. We weren't even going to see that. It was going to open with the scene of Matt like on top of the building, like sad. That was how the show was originally going to open. So they had to like go back and refilm him actually dying, so that it would actually mean something. And one thing that I did find kind of interesting about that first season was the fact that originally he was going to wear the suit that he had in She-Hulk, like the red and gold suit. He was going to, or Matt Murdock was originally going to wear the red and gold suit for Daredevil Born Again. But then, obviously, plans ended up changing, and he ended up going with just like a full red suit, which I don't hate. I think it's a pretty decent suit, although I will say that my favorite suit is probably the full black suit, the one that we have this season of Daredevil. I do really like that black suit because it just looked cool in my opinion, and I just liked the look of it, and I like that he finally has the double D's on the suit. You can obviously see in the poster back there that I finally got up, in case you haven't watched my Spider-Man Brand New Day video, but I finally got my Daredevil poster on the wall. I bought that thing like back in March before the show even started coming out. I just never got a picture frame for it, but then I just decided to swap my FNAF poster with the Daredevil poster because I had 2 FNAF posters. I just decided to end up switching one of the FNAF 2 posters with the Daredevil poster. So yeah, I finally got the Daredevil poster on the wall, and I gotta say, this like black suit right here, I think is probably my favorite Daredevil suit that he's had, just because it looks super clean, and I really like the details of how like each episode, the suit gets like more and more like ripped, like you can see like the paint start to like tear and everything, because I'm pretty sure it is the exact same suit that he had in the first season, just spray painted black. So over time the like spray paintedness starts to like chip away and you start to see the red suit again. I do really like that detail out of the Daredevil suit right here. So yeah, I'm thinking that black suit there is probably my favorite Daredevil suit that we've had so far, but I do actually don't mind that red and gold suit that we've had in She-Hulk. That one wasn't too bad. So I wonder what kind of suit he's going to have in season 3, because chances are he's probably getting another suit in season 3. Whether they go back to the full red suit or whether or not they keep this black suit, I don't know. But I feel like he will probably get a new suit in season 3. So yeah, but overall, going back to this season, season 2, I did really enjoy this season to say the least. I think there were maybe only like a couple episodes that I wasn't really feeling. I think it was like the first episode. I don't really remember the first episode all that much. But I do think those ones were kind of the weakest, like, first couple episodes of season 2. But then in, like, episode 3, and then episode 4, episode 5, I thought were all, like, really solid. And I think episode 6 was kind of eh. I'm trying to remember what happens in episode 6. So I don't really remember that episode. So yeah, that one was kind of meh. And then episode 7 and 8, I thought were both pretty dang solid. Especially this last episode that just came out, episode 8, I think was actually pretty dang good. I did kind of predict the ending of it a little bit, but that was because obviously with those leaks that we saw from Mike Coulter, and obviously him spoiling the fact that Matt Murdock would get arrested. Yeah, I think it was kind of safe to assume that Matt Murdock would either out himself as Daredevil or Kingpin would do it out of spite. That's kind of what I thought was going to happen, is that Kingpin was going to be like losing the court case, and then he was going to be like, you know what, Matt Murdock is a Daredevil, take that, and they were going to arrest him. But Matt Murdock himself actually revealed that he was Daredevil, and I was like, all right, I did like that. I like that little plot twist of Matt Murdock being, you know what, I am Daredevil, and you had illegal weapons on that ship. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess that worked out in this case. Because, yeah, Kingpin does end up getting exiled. He ends up getting, like, what's the word I'm looking for? He ends up getting, like, expelled from, like, the mayor, or he ends up, like, giving up his mayor position and ends up getting exiled so that he doesn't obviously go back to jail. And so, yeah, I do also like the stuff with Vanessa dying, because I was not expecting Vanessa to die at all, even though they literally showed Vanessa dying in the trailers for Daredevil Born Again, which I watched, and I still had no idea, because they literally put the scene of Vanessa with the glass piece in her head in the trailers, and like no one had any idea that was gonna happen. Like, they literally had that scene in one of the trailers for Daredevil Born Again, and we never noticed it. It was only after the trailers, or after the episode came out, that I realized. I went back to the trailer and I was like, wait a second, she has the glass piece in her head. And like, nobody noticed. So yeah, I did not expect Vanessa to die at all in this season, and when it happened, I was like, holy moly, I did not see that coming. So yeah, episode 4, I think it's probably my favorite episode so far, or like of the season. I think I liked episode 4 the most. But yeah, then I would probably go with episode 8, because I did really like this last episode that just came out. I wish it was 9 episodes like the first season, because the first season was 9 episodes. This one was only 8 episodes, so I wish that they would have made this season 9 episodes. But I guess the 9th episode is technically the Punisher special, because that comes out next Tuesday on the 12th, which I might review. I'm not 100% sure. I think I probably will end up doing a review for the Punisher special next week on the 12th of May when that comes out. So, yeah. So I guess that's why this episode, or this season was only 8 episodes, was because of the Punisher special coming out like a week after the finale. So that's probably why they only made it 8 episodes. But I wish it still would have been 9 episodes, just to like line up with season 1 a bit more. And the way this show ends with like Matt Murdock revealing to the world that, or revealing to New York that he's Daredevil, and then it kind of goes into like this rebellion against Kingpin, and then the scene of him just like, of Kingpin being in the courtroom and being like, you know what, screw it, open those doors, I'm gonna fight my way through. It's like, really? You expect the people to be like, oh yeah, you're a good guy, right after you just murked like a bunch of people? Because he literally bursts in the doors open and then just starts beating up a bunch of people, and then it's like he walks into that like hallway area where all the people are looking at him, and he's like, I've done everything for you and this is how you repay me. And it's like, bro, you're literally saying that while covered in blood. Nobody is gonna listen to you. But yeah, he ends up getting exiled. He ends up taking the deal to like flee New York so that he doesn't go back to jail. And Matt Murdock, obviously, with all of New York knowing that he is Daredevil, he ends up turning himself in and being like, you know what, I'm technically a vigilante, so I guess I gotta go to jail. But we know that next year, when season 3 comes out, that the Defenders are gonna end up bringing him out of jail, because we know the Defenders are coming back. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, who actually ended up showing up in the final episode of this season, which I had no idea about. Like, literally, when he showed up, I was like, Luke Cage is in the final episode of season 2? Like, and like, I just like how Iron Fist was like, yeah, you know what, I know all this stuff in New York's going on, but that ain't my problem. That's y'all's problem. I'm not dealing with none of that. Because I literally mentioned what Luke Cage has been up to during the events of season 2, that he was off doing this like mission for Mr. Charles, but then it's like he comes back by the end of it, but it's like Iron Fist is like, nowhere to be seen throughout this entire season. So he's just off minding his own business, being like, you know what? Not my problem. That's y'all's problem. I'm gonna see y'all next year. And it's like, okay. Like, I wonder what ends up bringing all three of the defenders back into the play with season 3 of Born Again, because that's currently being filmed. And like I said, we know the defenders are coming back because of the set photos and everything. All three of the defenders are coming back. And I really hope that they give Iron Fist an actual costume so that Daredevil is not the only one with a costume, because it is so weird when it's Daredevil in a costume and then everyone else is in just like civilian clothing. Like, that just looks so weird and off when it's just Daredevil in a costume and everyone else is just in their normal clothes. Like, I hope they give Iron Fist like an outfit next season so that Daredevil's not the only one in an outfit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, overall, I did really enjoy the season, and I also like the stuff that they did with Bullseye, where they kind of redeemed him a little bit, because he does obviously feel bad for killing Foggy. It's not like he is like, yeah, I killed Foggy, big whoop. He obviously feels bad about it, because he was kind of like tricked into killing Foggy from Vanessa. Like, Vanessa kind of like manipulated him. She was like, if you kill Foggy, then like I'll pardon you and all that, and you can go like live your life and all that stuff. So that is why he ended up killing Foggy in the first season, because he thought he was gonna like basically just like be free and like, you know, do whatever. But that was not the case. And so yeah, he obviously feels bad about killing Foggy, and so I like the stuff that they do there. Where like Karen Page is all like, well, why don't we just kill this guy? Like, he killed Foggy, and you're letting him go. And yeah, what about that thing? That whole thing was like nothing, because they have this whole argument in episode. I'm pretty sure it was episode 6, right? It was either episode 6 or episode 7. But they have this like argument where it's like, Bullseye's right here. Why don't we just kill him? And he's like, and Matt Murdock's all like, we wouldn't be any better than him if we killed him just because he killed Foggy. And then she's all pissed off, so she leaves. And then he ends up letting Bullseye go, obviously, because he's all like, oh, I want to kill you, but I have to forgive you. So then he sends Bullseye off on this mission to save the one lady who was going to end up dying. So Bullseye ends up saving her. And then we just never come back to Karen Page finding out that Matt released Bullseye. Never come back to that. It's like, all right. And the whole thing with like the Bullseye imposter, that was the thing that was like teased in trailers, and that was like not even a thing that barely mattered, because the imposter only shows up at the finale, and we don't even like find out who he is. Like, he just dies when Bullseye comes into play, and he just dies, and it's like, all right, well, that was kind of underwhelming. And then he ends up shooting Buck. Obviously, the real Bullseye ends up shooting Buck, and it's like, what happened to Buck? Is he alive or is he dead? Because he's seen like bleeding out on the floor. When like Kingpin is like in the courtroom, we see Bullseye, or not Bullseye, we see Buck with like the bullet wound, and then it's like we never come back to that, so we don't know if Buck is alive or dead. I'm pretty sure he's alive, because I think he's been confirmed for season 3, so I'm pretty sure he's alive, so he's probably going to end up being fine. But I just like how Daniel in episode 7 is all like, oh, how long till you're going to be bleeding out on the floor with a gun pointing at your head? And it's like literally the next episode that exact thing happens to him. It's like, what are the chances? You know what I'm saying? And then Heather ends up becoming Muse, or like Lady Muse, towards the end of the season, which, I mean, we all saw coming because of the set photos of like Heather as Muse. We all saw that coming. It's just kind of weird how she is like traumatized by what happened last season with Muse, so she ends up becoming Muse. Like, how does that really make sense, you know? So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. And then we've obviously seen that Kingpin will somehow return to New York. I'm not really too sure how that's going to end up happening, because we have seen set photos again of Kingpin with a beard in New York. So it's like, how does he get back to New York, and why is he back in New York? You know what I'm saying? But I hope he's not really the main player of season 3. I don't think he will be. I think he'll kind of be like a season 2 of Daredevil route, what they did with the Netflix show, where he was there, but like he wasn't really the main threat. That's probably why they're bringing all the Defenders back, because whoever this main threat is requires all the Defenders to come back. But yeah, overall, I did really enjoy this season, and I can't wait to see what season 3 brings, and if we're going to get any seasons after season 3, like if season 3 will be the last one, or if they'll do a season 4 of Born Again, or season 5 of Born Again. Who knows? But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. We are only 29 subscribers away from 700. We are at 671. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe, and you can let me know what you thought of Daredevil Born Again, and if you're looking forward to Season 3 coming out next year, probably sometime in March, just like with Season 2 and Season 1. And I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.